Today in studio, we touch base on the open carry laws that have affected college campuses. Where exactly is this bill headed?
Fire Chief Ronnie Tucker has served as a firefighter for over 40 years, and many of those years here at Prosper. Elizabeth Kirsch highlights him and his contributions to our community.
And Nico Ray will be in studio with Ms. Roach to explain the process of how to level down from a pre-AP or AP class.
All this and more on Eagle Nation News.
Live from Prosper, Texas, this is Eagle Nation News.
Good afternoon, Prosper High School. Today is Thursday, August 24th. I'm Sola Cantai.
I'm Nico Ray.
And I'm Casey Boston.
So here in our country, we're always looking for ways to have cleaner energy. You know, we're kind of straying away from the non-renewable resources and looking for something that's a little more renewable that can last for generations to come. Casey, what's Stanford doing?
Well, a team from Stanford has outlined a 100% renewable energy plan for 139 countries. They plan to avoid the use of biofuels and fossil fuels and instead use wind, water, and solar energy. Researchers believe that creating a better economy from their new energy plan could dramatically increase jobs worldwide.
Tropical Storm Harvey has officially been upgraded to a hurricane. Starting this weekend or early next week, Hurricane Harvey is expected to bring a deadly combination of rainfall and flooding to the Texas-Louisiana coasts.
Open carry was officially signed into Texas law in June of 2015, and since then we've seen a multitude of changes and additions to the bill. Let's start in major college campuses. You know, at UT and Texas A&M, we've seen open carry has been allowed on those campuses, and now we've gone a little smaller scale. Now on community college campuses, open carry is allowed, and starting September 1st actually, 5.5-inch blades or longer are included in the open carry bill.
And I think it's always important to remember that when arguing about the Second Amendment, that you have two sides to the argument. One side believes that more open carry will lead to more violence, and the other side believes that the lack of open carry will lead to more violence.
Well, also, we need to remember that open carry doesn't necessarily mean open fire.
That's right.
Absolutely, but we also have to remember that events like Sandy Hook and others have posed the question of whether or not teachers should be allowed to carry firearms in their classrooms. So it really is just a matter of time until we see where exactly this bill is headed and what the effect is going to be on the citizens.
That's right. When we come back, Elizabeth Kirsch sits down with Ronnie Tucker, Prosper's retiring fire chief, and looks back on the safety he's brought to the community.
This week on Eagle Nation News, the premiere of Prosper Game Time, Rucker Elementary introduces agricultural classes, and a unique inner-city farm feeds the homeless. Plus, Sutton Delaney takes on fruit.
For your fast forecast, there will be a high of 84 degrees with a low of 69. The sky will be mainly cloudy with a 40% chance of rain.
Public service is a thankless job. After nearly 3 decades of helping protect the city of Prosper, Fire Chief Ronnie Tucker is hanging up his helmet and retiring. Here with more on just how much Prosper's longest-serving employee means to the town is Elizabeth Kirsch.
Countless hours and hard work describes Chief Tucker's long career as a firefighter. But recent news has some looking back at his years of service and wondering what the future holds.
I've been in the fire industry a little over 42 years. I've been in Prosper 25 of those. Really, I'm kind of embarrassed at the amount of publicity it's been about this. I don't like a lot of publicity for myself. It's because it's not about me. It's about the guys and gals, the firemen and the paramedics who answer the calls.
He's been an experienced person to kind of bounce ideas off of and say, hey, you know, what do you think about this, Chief? What do you think, what direction do you think we should go here? What's your opinion on this? And he's one of those people that you can always trust him to tell you what's on his mind.
With Tucker retiring at the end of August, there's sure to be change in the upcoming days.
He molded this department by his own hands into what it is today. There's just a lot of uncertainty, but at the same time, due to the fact that he has laid such a great foundation for us, I think that we can only improve.
I'll miss him, and his wife too. Janie's a great lady. It'll be bittersweet. I'm sad to see them go, but I'm happy that they're going to have time to spend just them.
Tucker is leaving behind a legacy of excellence that will be continued by future generations.
The PLA, or the Prosper Ladies Association, started a foundation in my name for future firefighters. Colin College, who has a very nice fire science degree type of a program, and they can learn to be firemen.
There will be a celebration of Chief Tucker's accomplishments on Thursday, August 31st at Lighthouse Church. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Elizabeth Kirsch.
Next Thursday, there will be a celebration of Chief Tucker's career at Lighthouse Christian Fellowship Church from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
After this commercial break, Nico Ray will discuss with Miss Roach the process to level down from a class and when it will be permitted.
Current members of the National Arts Honor Society need to attend a meeting on September 7th from 4 to 5:30 in the cafeteria. Wear your shirts and check Google Classroom for details. Senior parking passes are ready for pickup. Go by Miss Gustafson's office before or after school or during lunches. National Honor Society meets on Thursday, August 31st in Miss Stevens' room. Current members and member transfers from previous schools are required to attend.
This school year has brought forth many changes, including an update to the process of changing classes. Nico Ray is here in studio with Counselor Michelle Roach to learn more about this new process.
Mrs. Roach, thanks for coming.
It's my pleasure.
So I understand that there's a new process for leveling down from an AP pre-AP course. Could you explain that to me?
Absolutely. In the past, it's been pretty easy to level down. Kiddos just needed to go online, fill out a form, and drop their class. What we've done now is we're expanding that to now it takes 6 weeks in order for kiddos to really figure out if they're placed right. What we've asked them to do, if they feel like that they're not being successful in a class, is to approach the teacher, work out a success plan, and that might be as easy as going to tutoring before and after school, going to tutoring during Eagle time, but some way, some form for them to figure out how they can be successful in the class. If they're still feeling like they're not going to be successful in the class, then what we would like for them to do is to have a conversation with the teacher and their parents, have the parents contact the teacher, have a conversation as well to talk about really what is the best plan for the student. If after all those things have happened, that success plan has found out to not be successful, then the teacher will submit the kiddos' names to the counselors and will change their schedule.
And this isn't as easy as just dropping a class, is it? How does the schedule change?
Right. And so once the teacher submits the names to the counselors of who they feel like is not going to be successful in the class and they've given their approval to level down, then the counselors will make those schedule changes and will send the schedules out to the students.
All right. Thank you so much for being here. I have a feeling it's going to be a great year. Back to you, Sol, at the desk.
Thank you, Nico. Keeping on the subject of academics, Casey Boston is here in studio with yet another app to help students stay successful.
Duolingo is an app with 23 languages to choose from that is designed to help students with the language or languages that they are studying in school. With the app, you pick the language that you want to study, how many minutes a day you plan to study it, and begin. You could choose to start on the beginner course or take a placement test to be placed on how much you already know. No matter which way you plan to go, you will get reminders every day to study a little at a time. Make sure you're following us on Twitter at Eagle Nation News and turn on our post notifications for more updates.
Thank you, Casey. I wish I knew about Duolingo back when I was taking French.
You've got to give us a little taste of that.
No, I'm a little bit rusty. It's been about 2 years.
You're going to need to sharpen up on your French skills, Lola.
And now we move on to sports. Following a third-place finish in a tournament last week, tomorrow volleyball begins playing in the Plano ISD tournament at PSA Murphy.
Tomorrow, Eagle football scrimmages against Colleyville Heritage at Colleyville Heritage at 6:30.
Any student interested in competing for the UIL Current Events or Social Studies team, see Mrs. Cates in room 2232 during this week.
There will be a Science National Honor Society meeting for current members in Mrs. Robinson's room during Eagle time today.
FCA will hold a student leadership meeting in room 2223 during Eagle time Thursday, August 31st.
Eagle Stage Crew is hosting an introductory meeting on Tuesday, August 29th after school in room 1168G. Everyone is welcome.
Well, that's going to do it for our show today. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Casey Boston.
I'm Nico Ray.
And I'm Sola Cantai. Live long and prosper.